Good morning, everyone. Today we will discuss the relationship between language, culture, and society. These three are closely connected and influence one another.
Have you ever noticed how some words just don't translate the same way into another language? Or how a joke that's funny in one language suddenly feels awkward in another? It makes you wonder, why is that? The answer is simple. Language is deeply connected to culture. It's not just a way of speaking, it's a way of living. Every word we use carries the values, beliefs, and traditions of the people who speak it. When we look at Filipino culture, for example, we can clearly see this connection. In English, we use the word you for everyone. It's straightforward and neutral. But in Filipino, we say po and opo when speaking to elders or people we respect. These aren't just extra words, they represent something deeper. They show how important respect is in Filipino culture, especially within families and communities. Without these words, conversations would feel incomplete, almost as if a part of the culture itself is missing. Language doesn't only reflect aspect, it also expresses how a culture sees the world. Take the Japanese word komorebi, which refers to the sunlight filtering through the leaves of trees. There's no exact English equivalent for this, and that says a lot. This word exists because Japanese culture places a strong appreciation on nature and the quiet beauty of small fleeting moments. Through just one word, we can already understand something meaningful about how they experience the world. This shows us that language is more often than vocabulary and grammar. It is a reflection of identity. It tells us what people value, what they noticed, and how they connect with others. So the next time you hear a different language, don't just focus on understanding the words. Try to understand the culture behind them. Because every language carries a story, and every story reveals a way of life.
Now, let's examine how culture influences language. Every culture has unique expression, greetings, and way of speaking. Let's begin with simple idea. Language is used more than word. It is a tool people use to communicate, express emotion, preserve tradition, and interact with and society. Most likely because of language, it reflects both culture and society. Now let's examine how culture influences language. Every culture has unique expression, greetings, and way of speaking. For example, some cultures use very respectful language when speaking to others, while others are more informal. Certain words or expression may exist in one culture but in another because they reflect specific tradition or experiences. Languages also preserve culture. Stories, songs, proverbs, and traditions are passed down through language. Without language, cultural knowledge would be difficult to maintain. Society also creates language trends such as slang, abbreviation, and modern expression. As society changes, language changes too. At the same time, language influences culture and society. Language shape how people think, interact, and build relationships. It strengthens idea and unity within community. A shared language helps people preserve tradition and feel connected to their culture. However, language can also create social barriers. Differences in language or dialect may sometimes lead to misunderstanding, prejudice, or discrimination. Let's look at simple example. In many cultures, people use polite words like po and opo, like here in the Philippines. When they speak to elders, these words are not just part of language, they reflect cultural values such as respect and good manners within society. In summary, language, culture, and society are interconnected. Culture gives meaning to language, society shapes how language is used, and language preserves culture and supports social interaction. Understanding this relationship helps us communicate better and appreciate the diversity of people around us. Thank you everyone. I hope you understand the link between culture and society.
The relationship between language and society is a fundamental part of the human experience, operating as a two-way street where each constantly shapes the other. At its core, language serves as a primary marker of social identity. Through dialects, accents, and specialized slangs, Individuals signal their geographical roots, social class, and group affiliations. This social signaling allows people to establish the sense of belonging or insider status, while also naturally creating boundaries between different social groups. When we speak, we aren't just communicating information, we are projecting a version of ourselves that reflects our background and social standing.